Hi guys. Okay, so today we're talking about dating clients, things that are working in the new year. A lot of people sign up to become a copywriter, they take a course, they want to learn, and the number one question, of course, is like all of these clients that people are talking about, where are they? How do I get one, right? And I don't think that there's a lot of secrets out there. A lot of the getting client strategies is the same for like all kinds of businesses of all types. However, there are things that you can do that can save you a lot of time, energy, money, sanity, all of the things, and help you date your first few clients. So that's kind of what I want to dive into and talk about today. So now also, if there's something that's working for you that you do want to actually share with everybody, feel free to leave it down below. However, here are things that are working for me, other freelancers I know, so on and so forth. Also, apologies about my lighting. I am moving later in this year and I'm very excited to have like a nice filming area. Anyway, number one, follow the companies that you actually want to work for, write for, whatever. Now, if you're new to copywriting, let me explain. You kind of want to pick industries that you want to work for because it helps save you so much time, energy, and money of trying to find clients, right? If you're pitching everybody, you're going to end up with nobody, right? It's not a good idea. You need to kind of like narrow down the type of writing you want to do and at least the industries you want to work for, whether, even if it's broad and you start with like technology and then narrow it down from there into what kinds of tech companies you want to write for. But you want to follow the companies that you want to write for on the internet. This is how I've gotten some of my biggest clients, because I had companies that I've liked, was a fan of, and every now and then, you're going to see that the CEO, the company is going to post that they need a writer, they need help. Sometimes the CEO will even post that they're overwhelmed, they're going in a new branding strategy. Like, if you follow a company hard enough, you are going to see an opening. And when you see that opening, you need to pounce because you've already followed the company, you already know their brand, their voice, you probably already have bought their products or services. So you can make a very good pitch that can stand out compared to everybody else who is applying for this job. So you should be following the companies you want to write for on every platform that you have. Instagram, LinkedIn, email marketing, whatever it is. Follow them. Don't be creepy, but lightly stalk as much as you can. Number two, your own network. Now, every time I say this, people are like, I don't know anybody. And I'm like, did you go to school? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Do you have friends online? Like, most of us know someone who can help us, right? And maybe that's not always like they can give you work, but you can just have them keep an ear on the ground, like, and then they know someone who has like an Etsy shop, a small business, someone who wants to start an email newsletter. Like, ask people in your network. And I understand, there's a delicate situation if you have a 9-to-5 job and you like want to find like freelance gigs on the side. Like, you have to walk a fine rope of like not letting your work find out that you're doing other things with your time. Or people just feel so weird that they're like starting this side hustle thing and they don't want to tell people. And by telling nobody, you're going to not get any clients. So in that case, find like groups, find online friends, find people who like support your dreams. I have a Discord group, get in there. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of other freelancers. That's probably not your target demographic, but, the point is you have a network and you should utilize it. It's the best way to start before you're like cold pitching and being rejected constantly and repeatedly. Like, there's other nice, like, easy ways to get into it. Also because people will trust a referral far more than they will trust something else, than a cold pitch, right? Like, if your cousin refers you to someone they know, that does so much of the heavy lifting of you trying to convince them to hire you. Okay. Number three, social media. I've always been a little hard on social media. I think a lot of people will waste time scheduling tweets for the next like month or two, setting up like funnels, all of this complicated social media stuff, when you should be getting like pitching clients. You should be doing your work. So as long as you can keep that time suck element of it at bay, where you're scrolling through and now you're like so deep in internet culture that you like know every single trend out there, that's when you're scrolling too much. You need to get back to the strategy. But using social media to get clients, you know, for better or worse, my best platform is Twitter. I'm not even that active on it. I've just been on it long enough and built a reputation there where when I post that like I have some openings for work, Twitter's usually the first place that fills the bucket for me. Which is wild. But, you know, yours could be LinkedIn, yours could be TikTok, you know, Instagram, whatever else, Be Real, I don't know, whatever else is out there. I'm only on the major ones. That's all I have time for, but whatever works for you. From there, in-person events. I went to 2 in-person events last year, I think, total networking, and landed like 3 clients from each one, right? Like, I mean, I was very specific. I was very smart. I thought ahead. I was very strategic about which ones I went to because I knew that the people I wanted to work with were there. Some of them I loosely knew, but then we'd have to, you know, hug, shake hands. Hi, hello, so good to meet you. Like all of the things, right? And that alone does so much work for you. Like, as much as we want to be introverts and be internet people and like not talk to people, for better or worse, like working with people, will just do so much for you. Like so much for you. We're social creatures. There's so much you can read in body language. There's so much you can read in like talking to someone face to face. So you should go do that for better or worse. That doesn't mean going to every event. That means be smart about it, strategic. Like I said about industries, pick those and go. Don't just go to like freelance writing conventions. I will rage about this forever. I know that I think like if you want friends in the industry, great idea. If you want clients, there are people who do what you do. Like it's like if you're a dentist going to a convention of dentists, like sure, dentists use dentists, but like that's where you like go to network and meet people and get strategies for your industry, but you're not going to get clients there. And so many freelance writers join so many freelance writing communities, which is great, but it's not where you're going to get your clients who are going to pay you $5,000, $10,000 to do work because they're freelancers themselves. You know what I mean? Anyway, your website. So, you know, there is a lot of power in building up your website, using keywords, using SEO. Now, is that a long-term strategy? Is that something that you can like build and will start bringing you clients in the first month? No, but as you know, I think many of us have had to learn the hard way. It takes a while for Google to even recognize your website and give it any kind of love or traffic or anything. But is it worth it in the long term? Like if you're just starting, you should probably focus on like networking and directly talking with people. And maybe like 10% on your website just to like start building it. I wouldn't say 0 because in 6 months to a year, you'll regret not like building up your website, making it look nice. That being said, I've also met many a freelancer who have like $10,000 contracts regularly and their entire portfolio is in like a Google Doc. But let's just assume that we're not, you know, I forget who it is. One of those online experts talks about like, assume that you're not the special case and assume that you're just like everybody else and play that game, but better. And I think I just butchered it, but like, don't assume that you're just gonna like win the lottery of the internet. You know what I mean? Like just assume that you need to play by the rules of everybody else, but then do it better than them. You know, like, and that will save you so much stress and strategy and time. Just like people who are like so stressed that they're not making $10,000 a month as a writer. And it's like, that is the exception, not the rule, right? Like that is the rare case, especially in like your first year, you know, rare case. Assume you're the rule and then do it better. You know, like, sorry, I'm mentioning scrolling too much on social media. I've been scrolling way too much on Twitter lately. And the amount of people who are like claiming to make $10,000 to $30,000 a month as writers, which is 100% possible. But the people who are saying it, and then the people who are like begging for scraps of work is like, and I'm like, where are the people who are just like making an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month repeatedly is huge for a lot of people, especially if you have a 9-to-5. Like if you have a 9-to-5 and you're making an extra $1,000 a month from this little writing gig that you're doing, for a lot of people, that's life-changing. That's life-changing. I don't care what you say. Like the 10 grand a month people, which is fine to talk about. And I understand needing to position yourself that way to like sell your course. I understand that as a marketer. However, the amount of people who want to give up because they're not there is like, whoa. Stop beating yourself up every single hour of every single day just because you're not there. It's going to be okay, guys. Like you can build it up there, or you can just make a few grand on the side. And like use that money to go on vacation, use that money to pay off your debt, use that money to get out of your student loans. How much we just dismiss like a few grand is absolutely wild to me. Like wild to me. Anyway, would it be a video of mine without a side tangent? Absolutely not. So, but it's just like, get off the internet. If you're pressed about like not making your 10 grand a month, even if you're been in the game for a long time, like I know a lot of copywriters who make like 4 grand a month and they're happy and they've kept their expenses low and you know, all of the things. And then there's some that make that much and then they're like constantly losing their minds about why they're not at 10. And it's just like, I don't know where this mythical number came from. I don't know where it came from. It just sounds fancy and I think everybody uses it. Number 6. Mentioning this kind of idea, but building your brand can help a lot. Now, this doesn't mean that you talk about a lot of copywriters, and I'm guilty of this, where I help a lot of content for freelancers to build their business, right? And they made a lot of content about freelance writing. Like that's all their entire thing. And you need to think of, what do your clients want to read about? Messaging, strategy, email marketing, open rates, conversion. That's what they care about. Making enough money with all of their writing to build their company. Talking about freelancing and the struggle and all of that, that's not the brand you want to build. You've got to be careful about what kind of brand you're building on the internet, especially once you start social media posting. And I think this is where a lot of copywriters start to go like, oh, well, I don't know what else to say, so I make 10 grand a month, like because these numbers attract attention. And I get it, which is why no matter what I make, I avoid talking about money on the internet. I think it's tacky. Maybe I was raised differently. Not that I won't, not that I, you know, we won't dive into that at some point in time. Like I think it's interesting to talk about like making a certain amount of money from side tangent. Okay. The point is, building your brand on the internet can help you a lot, right? And you need to think about what your clients want to know, which can be like, you can be dissecting advertisements online. You can be dissecting email newsletters from ones you get in the industries that you're targeting. Like there's a lot to play with there, but constantly think about what people who want to hire you want to see, what's going to grab their attention. You know, I think I've definitely made this mistake where I've made a lot of content for freelance writers, and a lot of people are constantly asking me like, don't you get a lot of clients from like, having like thousands of followers on all these platforms by talking about freelancing? No. No. Almost no clients have come from this YouTube channel, but I am not making content for, we're gonna start because I'm realizing like I should probably do that, but because it wouldn't hurt, right? But don't do my mistake and make content for clients. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And then the last thing is find companies who could use your skills. And mainly I'm talking about agencies. Agencies often will need your skill set. They have a constant stream of work. There are other related kinds of businesses like that where they need so much content churned out all the time. You know, I want to say things like newspapers and stuff, but although journalism does not pay well anymore, depending on who you are and what you're writing for. But in general, it does not pay well, which is very unfortunate for society. But you know, working with agencies is a great place to start getting work because they usually have so much work and they don't want to hire people and pay them hourly wages. So use that to your advantage. Just be reliable, be dependable, and that will get you really, really far with agencies. Much more than like, oh, I'm creative and I'm really out there with my writing. Like if you didn't just cover the basics, most agencies are like, please help us. Because they're overwhelmed constantly. So that's pretty much it. That is where I have seen a lot of success over the last, well, mainly the few months, because I kind of quit copywriting for the end of 2023 there for a minute. But that is where I have been finding clients. That's where friends of mine have been finding clients, and we've been discussing it, strategies, all the things. So, of course, long video, but like, what else would it be without a long video for me? So that's it, guys. Happy New Year. I've been saying that a lot. It's already February. But it was just the Chinese New Year, so it's a whole new year. Anyway, that's it. Bye, guys.